Nobody thinks this is going to happen to them. I never for a second thought that. We're lucky to be alive. We're lucky that we got out. Coming to Shasta County with my then 8-year-old daughter as a single mom was a really big deal to make a move. We had our first apartment. I'd lived there for 2 months. We only had a swamp cooler in the apartment. That summer was super hot, and about 4 a.m. on September 24th, 2007, I heard the gears grinding in our swamp cooler. So I jumped up to go see what was happening, and there was like a sphere of smoke, black smoke going from the swamp cooler to the origin of the fire. And I told my daughter, "Get up, the apartment's on fire." And I grabbed her and carried her to the front door and took one step out of the apartment. And right at that time, I looked down and all the skin is hanging off of both of my feet. And Hannah was screaming at the top of her lungs, and I said, "It's okay, we made it, we made it." And I looked back and the fire was coming out the front door. And at that time I heard a loud boom and all the windows blew up, and the swamp cooler had fallen through the ceiling and hit the floor. And so we really had gotten out at the last seconds. I remember waking up in the hospital, and I didn't know like what caused the fire. And I remember waking up in a room, it was an isolation room, and I was by myself, and just to realize that I'm in a different place and it's daylight. And when I went to the hospital, it was dark, so I didn't know how much time had passed. And I didn't know if I had done something to cause the fire or if my daughter was alive. And I remember just hitting the button, trying to get a hold of the nurse so that she could come in so I could somebody tell me what happened and if my daughter was okay. You know, so there was 5 minutes of time that I had no idea if she survived. I hadn't even realized yet the pain that was about to happen. I quickly learned that burn treatment is one of the most horrible, painful treatments that somebody can have to endure. I was put into a coma because I had sustained burns around my mouth, so I wasn't expected to live. I just think about, like, if I would have lost her, I couldn't live with myself. Thankfully, we survived and we're 100% now, but smoke detectors save lives, and nobody thinks that's going to happen to them, but it could, and that's why we have them, and that's why it's so important to have a working smoke detector, because they do save lives. And I'll be honest with you, for a lot of years, I didn't talk about the smoke detector thing because I could not admit it. I mean, we know that's what happened, but I wasn't happy to go around talking to people about how I didn't have a working smoke detector, and my daughter and I were burned, and we could have not had to go through that. So once you turn an experience around, even though it's a mistake, it's about what you do with the mistake. I feel so honored and blessed to have had this journey. It's truly a miracle that we survived and that my daughter and I did not die in the fire, even though we sustained pretty serious burns that were 100% healed. And to use this experience to help educate people, it is such a blessing and such an honor, and I feel so honored to work for CAL FIRE and to be able to share this information and to help educate the community. If I can save one life by sharing my story, then I'm winning.